let's head down there and we can kick this off.
All right. So Doc28 looking at a decent hand. Let's tell them they are good to go.
So Doc28 is looking at, hey, make him have it. Wump on 3 with pause for reflection backup. The primal etchings as well. This is a reasonable keep.
I like it.
Your
yeah,
power
I think you could do some work
your power's
there.
undepleted on 3. That's about as much as you can hope for. And you have the Jotun Hurler.
Here comes that crest of wisdom, starting things off for Doc28. They see a no one to hold him, and they're going to keep that one on top.
So this is all aboard the Wump train.
All right, YurickYu looking at a hand of 3 power, a Crow, a Genev Merchant, a Throne Room, a Mavloff Huntress, and an Auto Tread. And they're going to fire off that Auto Tread right onto the board here. Not going to discard anything, of course, but going to keep it a 1-1. Doc28 with Equivocate for the turn. But thanks to that Jotun Hurler, here comes that Snowball, and that's going to take care of YurickYu. I can't get over how great Snowball is. I love Jotun Hurler. I just love that you get the extra card, you get the free Snowball. Who would have thought when you look at this card that the power is going to be the free Snowball and not the 3 free body?
So Doc, deciding to deal with the Auto Tread while it's little, runs at the Wump without protection, and that just gets completely cleaned up.
Yeah,
that's
this is why tough.
Yep, but this is exactly why you keep that no one to hold him.
But you got that no one to hold him. I assume Doc actually knew about that, thought about it, and said, you know what, I've got the no one to hold him. YurickYu, force the removal spell, play the no one to hold him, get that Wump back onto the battlefield. See if YurickYu answers it again.
The Wump is absolutely must answer.
Absolutely. Well, let's see what YurickYu has in hand. They've got 2 Throne Rooms, a Whispering Wind, a Crow, and a Genev Merchant. I don't know what they have here to answer this Wump.
Nothing!
Do they have anything in the market? You've got a Permafrost. That's not going to do it.
That doesn't do it.
They grab the Ice Bolt. Okay, so that can answer the flipped Wump, but it's going to be a little while. It's going to be next turn, but also Doc28 is going to have protection up at that point.
Yep. So Pause for Reflection is just going to become a 1 cost, gain 3, ramp 1, and you still get you negate the kill. Doc28 running got the Mavloff.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Nice.
The Wump.
With the gets so the way that Wump is templated says that at the start of your turn, and when you attack, you get a snowball. So Mavloff Huntress's killer is an attack, which is what allows you to get that 1 extra damage. So nice heads up play by Doc28 there. Of course, as we predicted, that Ice Bolt coming down, pause for reflection, gonna save it, gonna bring that party pair back to hand. And Doc28 is going to deploy that again this turn. If you've heard me say this before, if you've been on one of these tournaments before, you've heard me talk about this Elysian deck. One of my favorite things about it is that how it's able to attack from so many different angles. Sometimes it's about Master Conjure and spitting out 4/4s, and you have to deal with that engine, and you have to deal with those flyers. Sometimes it's about Jural Ascending, and it's about chaining spells together and machine gunning your opponent in the face. But then other times you just get an early Wump out with protection, and it says, okay, now I've got a 6/6 endurance, which is pinging away all your units every turn, and I can protect it. What are you supposed to do against a deck that can just attack you on 3 completely different angles?
Well, considering all their units are cheap, you bring in a bunch of removal that kills them because they're cheap. So other Equivocates, Defiances, Open Contracts, Defiles. Elysian really doesn't like open contracts, and
Yep.
The only thing that defends against that is Dazzle. Also, Shadow Icaria if the pause for reflection isn't there, that's just a hard kill that can't be negated, but you have to survive to get to her. YurickYu has to just ditch their whole hand.
3 cards plus a torch, so essentially ditching 4 cards to take care of that Wump. It's gonna work. You're gonna leave yourself with a 4/4, but YurickYu essentially emptied their hand to do that.
That's rough, but you gotta do what you
Got
gotta
to do
do.
what you got to
Otherwise,
do. I mean, you live to fight another day. YurickYu can now play the rest of the game. Otherwise, they were just dead. So here you go. Auto tread on 4 with a throne room.
so Doc still has some time. Like a 4-4 isn't the craziest of clocks when you're at 8 power, but at the same time, Doc is just
Oh, there's that
eh.
Huntress going to get 2 dazzles. Now, YurickYu is able to take care of that Huntress if they'd like. This auto tread.
The question is it worth literally burning a card to
Yeah,
get
there's.
rid of
Oh, interesting. Oh, they have the tripwire granted, and look at that. Oh, but they're just gonna go face. They're just gonna deal damage whenever one unit hits the enemy player. So the way the throne works is it's anytime a unit hits the enemy player, including the summon ability, including the auto tread ability, just gonna go
Oh, of
face
course.
here. That's really, really heads up by YurickYu to be able to understand that synergy. Of course, that's how the deck works, but see the writing on the wall. It's tempting to take out the 2-1 with your ping abilities, but actually going to ping and get the 7 cent out of the deal. So very well played by YurickYu that turn. Making me look
Yeah,
foolish.
you're just racing for the Duraka. That's a Doc finally, top decking something of consequence with that Giral ascending fully leveled up.
Yep, fully leveled up Giral ascending here. There's nothing really YurickYu could do about that right now. They'll have to top deck something. Auto Tread can't deal with it. None of these other creatures can deal with it. Let's see. Top deck for YurickYu is a Genev Merchant, but they don't have anything to toss away.
Well, they have the Genev Merchant to toss away to the auto tread.
That's true.
Get rid of this.
That's one thing. That's what you can use merchants for to deal 1 damage. Right.
This puts Doc to
Puts Doc in
this puts
trouble.
Doc to 7.
All right.
But
Master Conjurer and Dazzle. Okay. I'm gonna start with a Dazzle. That's going to pop the Aegis, and that's going to stun the blocker. Let's see what he can draw. Giral's going to draw a Snowball, that nice synergy with the hurler. That's going to deal 3. A second attack will deal 3, plus the Snowball 1, and the trigger will ping, and that will be it.
Wow, Doc finding exact lethal against.
Ooh. You got to know your deck. You got to play to your outs, and look at that. Doc28 taking the aggressive out, going to stun the blocker to try to get in lethal. Drew it off the top. Well played, Doc, to understand how the deck works, and Doc28 is going to take that 1-0, but that one was close.
Yeah, like if you're not perfect, if you're not tight, super tight with a Legion, you're gonna find that you run out of cards. You're top decking efficient threats, but then you top deck Master Conjurer without spells. You top deck your Giral. You don't have too many spells. You burn your treasure troves, and you just miss lethal, and then your opponent completely overwhelms you. Doc found the line there, barely got in from what was definitely going to be
All right, and let's see what Doc's here. 4 power, pause for reflection, a Master Conjurer, and a Giral ascending. All right, YurickYu here. A slightly different hand than last time.
So Doc on the make him have it.
YurickYu getting the aggressive hand. I had to make sure I was spectating the right opponent here. YurickYu on a hand of Champion of Fury, Jack. So, a little bit of an aggro hand here. And here comes Giral ascending and Master Conjurer, and Doc says, all right, I'm going to put my engines out on the board, and you're going to have to answer them.
So Doc just straight top decking the Kroll right when he needed to. And now that Master Conjurer completely walls off that Champion of Fury. Oof. And now Yurick is completely in the back foot.
Yeah, your auto tread doesn't look as good when you got a 1-5 blocker. When you got a 1-5 and then soon to be 3-5, your auto tread doesn't look quite as good. Now, what can Jack do here?
If there's a sigil, maybe a little bit. If there,
here comes no end to hold him to get a hurler to get a snowball. Doc28 using a no end to hold him to get a snowball, knowing this deck like the back of his hand. Play that out and going to trade the Giral Ascending for the champion there.
But got to draw off the Giral with a petition.
Yep. Huge.
I'm not sure I would have made that swing because I value a Giral, but Doc knows this deck better than I do.
If anybody knows this deck, Doc knows it quite well. So here comes the Jack. Gonna hit the Conjure, but of course, unfortunately, cannot kill that.
Nope.
Right, here comes the Huntress here. Now the Huntress is going to go up to a 3-6, which is going to be enough to take out that Jack. And then a pause for reflection, the Huntress back to get a 4-4 Storm Dancer. Man, this deck is popping off. And you get to attack for 1, just because.
So just a little bit of a critique there. So Doc could have swung with the Conjurer first, then imbued, then paused the Huntress, and the Conjurer would have been not exhausted to be able to block another champion of Fury. But that's just me being pedantic here because it clearly didn't matter there. So now another Mabeloft Huntress coming down, dealing with Whispering Wind. Is that the second spell?
Gotta say, this deck looks good. It looks good in the right hands, I'll tell you. It's hard to play, but it looks pretty good in the right hands.
Oh, if your power cooperates with this deck, oh boy. Yeah, and Yurick is just way too far behind.
Congratulations to Doc28 on taking that one 2-0 over YurickYu.